everybody. Look what I got. Look at Uh-oh.
Look who I got, a fishy jerk.
Was that you? Did you have that echo?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What an
You're new to
amateur.
this. You've only been streaming for, I don't know, 6 years or something.
I know. What an amateur.
Real quick, it seems like there's some new people. I see some new names. So just so you guys know, the whole first half of this, Bob and I are just going to have a conversation. We're not going to be looking at the chat. We're not going to be answering questions or saying hi. So if you happen to ask a question, we're not going to see it. But the second half, we'll open up to questions from you guys. And when you do that, make sure you do the @RicoStan or Bob. You're in the chat, right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, or at Bob Steenfott, so that Bob can see it as well. Yeah, that's about it. And I apologize in advance. I've been down with a cold all week, and I still have a cough. There will be coughing, so I'm going to try my best to mute it. But no, I'm not. I'm just going to cough. So you're going to have to deal with it, people. All right. Hi, Bob.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it for a while. I always enjoy talking to other people on the internet and versus just talking to chat, which is nice as well. But there's some interaction here, which makes it a little easier.
Yeah, and we sort of have that in common with that because that's how you do your Monday nights, and I do an afternoon delight stream that's a lot like that too, where it's just answering questions out of the chat and stuff. It's a lot alike. It's fun, but you're right. This is better. So let's see. I know you live in the Pacific Northwest. You just recently moved. Where roughly are you? By Portland? Where are you roughly?
I'm in between Seattle and Bellingham.
Okay. How far away from the co-op now?
Probably hour-ish.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer,
closer, right?
It used to be about 45 minutes.
Okay.
The problem is coming home, it's hours through the Seattle traffic.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's the bad thing about living in a city, which I do not, and I love it. So what do you I never knew this. I've watched your streams a lot. I've been watching you, I don't know, 2 years, something like that. I don't know what you do for a living. I have no idea.
So I started my career in retail, really learned to hate people. So I went back to college and got a degree in computer networking and information security as my bachelor's. And then, I started that made me actually hate people more because people with computer problems are generally not nice.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
So at that point, I went to work for a resort casino, where there's really no tech support at all. But I did setting up servers and slot machines and things like that, all the back end stuff. And I did that for a long time until I quit to go full time on YouTube and open my website.
Gotcha. How long ago was that?
So I think I quit. I quit and decided to go full time right before COVID. So like November, the year before November, like November 2019. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm doing
perfect
my own
timing. That's perfect timing because Fish Fam just blew up, didn't it? That's what I hear because that's about when I came in. Well, so I heard that it just blew up with all the viewers because everybody's stuck at home.
The problem was it was perfect timing, and then all of a sudden everything shut down. I'm gonna start my own business, go into business for myself, and then everything shuts down. I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't import fish, you couldn't do anything.
Gotcha. So it's a double-edged sword. I did the IT stuff as well. 25 years as an IT guy. So I'm right with you there. I never really got to the point where I hated people, but
well, I started my first IT job. I paid my dues. My first IT job was tech support for Comcast. And it was I had to answer the phone for people that were calling. The internet's not working. So yeah.
I'm surprised you survived that because that had to be horrible. Because I think Comcast is a horrible company to begin with. And
so on on our side, like now that I don't work there, it's actually one of the top 10 companies in the US to work for. It's
Gotcha.
so they really do take care of their employees. I don't have anything negative to say about working there, except for the customers.
And I get it, because it isn't Comcast always one of the most hated companies in the United States as well. I
Yep.
believe it is. It's up there. Like
Yeah, it's
in the
always
top
in like the
5.
top 3.
Yeah. I said I wasn't going to look at the chat, but I do see Matt saying he's in information technology and also hate people. Maybe it's something to do with IT people. You know, we hate it. We hate people. I don't know. I never did, but okay. I do this all the time. I was going to go back. You said something I was going to go back to. How did you land with the casino?
They just posted a job and I applied for it and I got it.
And did they have like special operating systems and stuff you had to learn, or any of that kind of stuff? I don't want to go too deep into this. I'm sure it'll bore people.
Everything, the operating systems are actually really old. Like when I started there, I think in 2015, it was still like Windows 95 on some machines. Like it was crazy, because every single slot machine is a computer nowadays. Yeah. There's nothing mechanical anymore like the old days. So everything was really, really old. Like servers, their servers, like we would, when one would go down, we would buy a new one on eBay for like $20 because that's how old they were.
And all the money that casinos make, that's amazing. That you would think that they would have, because it also has to be harder to secure those older. Well, they're probably not facing out to the public though in any way. There's no way that
no. So they're all on virtual machines. So
okay, gotcha. All right,
but it's pretty fascinating behind the scenes. You know, you have to get, you know, the background check is basically like going to work for NSA. Like they look at everything.
Yeah. They're wondering if you're going to Ocean's 11 them or something.
And you'd be surprised how much money you just find laying around. Like I found $80,000 in a machine that was out in storage that they forgot to take the cash box out.
Jesus.
And what happens is you're like, am I back?
You're there. Yeah, you just froze for a minute. Yeah, Bob's having really bad weather out there, so he might drop in and out a couple times. So, okay. Anyways,
so when they decide that a machine is finally old enough to get rid of, we have to like physically destroy it. We can't resell it. We can't. So we're out there with like drills and everything, and we find the cash box, and it's still just packed full. And they don't even notice it. Like that's how much money they make. They don't even notice that much money missing.
Wow. And so what did you buy?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah. Hey, can you imagine that? $80,000. No, you can have whatever's out there. We don't care.
Yep. And so then there was like this big emergency to look through all of them, and we found 6 more full cash boxes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was probably a drop in the bucket overall.
Oh yeah.
$80,000 is probably Saturday morning for them.
So, way more. They make the last year I was there on just slot machine. Now it's a resort. They have table games. They have hotels. The slot machines were bringing in about $250 million a year in profit. Like that's after everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. I'm in the wrong business. Did you ever have to like go into work like 2:00 in the morning for an emergency or something?
I had to go in on Christmas one day, which is nice. Because when you get called in, you get paid an hour just for the phone call. So they always try to text, right? So they don't have to pay that. So you never answer the text. You wait for them to call. And as soon as they call, even if it's like 30 seconds, you get paid for an hour. And then if you go in, even if you go in for 5 minutes, you get paid for 4 hours. And it's double time plus holiday pay.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'll show up. Put my 5 minutes in.
You don't have a family, right? You don't have kids or anything, right?
Exactly. So, I just have like my parents, my sister. So we were having Christmas, but I was like, hey, I'll be back in 4 hours, or a couple hours, however long it takes.
Yeah. You just made the money to buy their Christmas presents because you forgot. A single guy, I know you forgot. You forgot your parents. You didn't buy them Christmas presents. I know it.
Actually I do, but I buy them the same thing every year, so it's nothing.
Gotcha. So it's
like my dad's a silver collector, so I buy him silver coins or something every year.
My son's, he's also an IT guy, and he just turned 30, and I'm hearing a little echo. I don't know if it's you or me. Might be on this side. I'm doing something different today. I'm using OBS. Hopefully it's not too bad. Let me know, people, if it gets bad. Excuse me. And he just started buying me like birthday presents and Christmas presents and everything just recently. So I always send him a list these days. It's nice.
There was definitely a time, like first, getting into the career where it's like, you're not making that much money.
Yeah, you don't have that much. I get it. I always made a joke with him though about it. So the echo was throwing me off a little bit. It's barely there, and I can't tell.
I don't have any echo over here.
It's probably me. And hopefully it's not real bad. Just Chad hasn't said anything. So okay, so before IT stuff, did you do anything different? Did you have any different jobs there? Did you
just retail? So I worked I worked at Good Guys, I worked at Circuit City, if you remember any of these old places that are now shut down.
I still have a TV that we bought from Circuit City.
Nice. And when I was going through college, I worked at Best Buy 4 hours a week just for the discount.
Oh, gotcha.
So
that's smart. That's a smart way to do it. Yeah, we still have a plasma TV that I bought from Circuit City a couple years before they closed. We still have it. It's nice. Like a 55-inch. It's in our bedroom. I don't even know if it still works. We haven't used it forever.
My first job was at a golf course, which was really fun, and I worked there for many years. Probably one of the best jobs I ever had.
What groundskeeper or what'd you do? Were you like
I started at the pro shop, like cleaning golf carts and things like that. And I started when I was 15, and when I turned 16, they actually moved me into they put me in charge of the pro shop. So I was running it. And the nice thing is when you work at a golf course, you get to play anywhere for free. So I played a lot of golf back then.
Gotcha. Well, that's a great segue. I was going to talk about your different hobbies. Do you still play golf today, or is it too expensive?
I don't. I actually quit playing golf as soon as I stopped getting it for free because it's very expensive.
Yeah, it is. Gotcha.
So I'd still play once in a while. I have some trophies around. So I'm looking like they're in here, but I know they're not. But I do have some trophies. We won some tournaments and things like that. Now I could. Wow. Now I could probably hit it like 50 yards. I don't even know. It's been so long.
Yeah. Well, what other types of hobbies do you have? I mean, obviously, I see the guitars on the wall there. Do you play guitar?
Music, yes. So I play the guitar. I have a piano right behind me as well. I'm way better at the piano than I am at guitar, but I do enjoy them both.
Nice. And is there any place we can hear your music, or is it just totally you do it for yourself? Or
I've done it for myself. I played for my parents. I've played for an ex-girlfriend, but I've never played like publicly or online or anything like that. I am working on possibly doing like starting a new channel and collabing with someone. I've been kind of throwing that around. So nice. maybe in the future, but
play us a song. Come on, do it. I'm just kidding. And what kind of music do you like to play? What's your thing?
Oh man, it honestly, it depends on the day. Like if I hear a song and I'm like jamming out to it, I'll be like, I have to learn that. And whether it's on piano or guitar, I'll just sit down until I learn it.
Nice.
Like whether it's 80s or 70s rock or Elvis, it doesn't matter. Like I actually, for the piano, I'm classically trained. So I took classical lessons for the piano. So playing the piano that's definitely my favorite, is classical.
And do you sing it all too, or
only to myself? Nobody wants to hear me sing.
I'm with you. A couple of people have heard those, and they're okay. They made it through. They're all right. He's all about the death metal on piano. Corey says, "Hi, Corey," and hi everybody else too. I don't want to say just hi to Corey because he's Corey. It's always a thrill to see Corey and Dean and people come in. Holy cow! Who knew Bob had talent? Ed said.
Hey, you never heard me. You don't know that I have talent.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't say he had talent. He just said he could play.
I will say I can play Moonlight Sonata like forwards and backwards with my eyes closed.
See, I really, really, really want to hear you. I think you should set that up on one of your own live streams and just, I would love to hear that. That would be amazing. Come on, man, you can do it.
Yeah, I first heard Moonlight Sonata. I don't even know. So long ago, and it was I still remember it was in Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
Sure.
So there's an episode where they
the old one or the new one?
The new one.
Okay.
Where they play Moonlight Sonata, and I was like, it just something about it. I was like, wow. And so I immediately went and got a piano, and I sat down, and I just played it over and over and over and over and over and over until I finally got it. And then I was like, maybe I should go take lessons.
Nice.
And so
that's
I went to take lessons on the very first time. She's like, do you know piano? So I played Moonlight Sonata. She's like, wow, you're pretty good. And then so she gets out the book and I'm like, I can't read any of this. I can't do any, I literally can't do anything else.
Yeah. Play it by ear and that's it. Our cat plays piano. We have a cat who plays. We have a piano in the living room, and his food bowl it's a big, wooden. I don't know what they're called, but it's got a big flat top, and his food bowl is up there so the dogs don't get it. And he all day long he jumps up on the keys and he'll play a little something every once in a while. And sometimes it's actually really musical. You're like, what the hell? He's like over there. He's over there playing a song. It's like, but that's amazing that you were driven by something. Is that something that's common in your life? You hear something and you have to just go learn everything about it. And
yeah, I'm very passionate about music. Like music, like it dictates my attitude. Like if I'm feeling bad, like I can turn on some corny 80s music and I'll be like just pumped up and ready to go in no time. Like
gotcha.
Like any like just anything. I like all music. It just really depends on my mood.
Really, and you can't point to any type. I always have a hard time with this too. Somebody will say, "What's your top 5 favorite artists?" I can't do it. I can't do it. Doesn't matter what we're talking about either. It doesn't matter if it's authors or directors or music, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just can't do it. Are you the same way?
Yeah, especially because I have the worst memory in the world. So I'll run off like 5 names, and then like tomorrow someone will ask me, and I'll be like, "Oh, I forgot about that person."
Yeah.
I mean, it's always going to be like Elvis and Michael Jackson is what I grew up to. My dad would play Elvis like all the time, and my mom was like the Michael Jackson. And so those two are pretty critical in my music and life. So I'll always be like, these two are always in my top 5, no matter what.
Yeah. That's funny. My number 1 is Limp Bizkit, Corey said.
That's what I said yesterday on my stream.
I was just talking about them too. I don't remember what I was just talking about them the other day too. Something came up and I was talking about what was his name? Fred
Durst.
Yeah, Fred Durst. He was in House of Pain too, wasn't he? I believe. Jump Around. I believe that was his band.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think it was. Somebody in the chat will prove me wrong, but I believe it was, and that's what we're going to go with. So, what other hobbies? What other kind of things? Video games? Do you like to read? Is there any other things that really?
I don't like to read, but I force myself to do it because I think it's good for me. Other hobbies, I go shooting a lot, and anything else like camping and hiking and things like that.
Yeah. I knew about the camping stuff. Those were always fun to watch. I love to go camping, and I really can't do it anymore. So watching you and Jimmy and Corey the times when he went was always a lot of fun. Are you guys getting ready to do some more of that again soon?
We've lost Jimmy, but Corey and I are planning on some stuff. And if Jimmy can make it, Jimmy has his little second side gig going on right now, so he's super busy.
Gotcha.
So I think we might have lost Jimmy, but if we can snag him, we'll take him. But yeah, so far it's just Corey and I for the next one. I think
I like it. Because you guys weren't like you were using decent equipment, but it wasn't like all this fancy stuff. Well, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the second one with Corey. There was 2 with Corey, right? I believe
2 or 3, I think.
So I don't know if Corey uses fancy stuff. I don't know, but I know the one time there was snow was coming down and your tent the zipper was broken. I mean, I've been there. I've done that.
That's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did miss it, even though I remember at the time it felt like going through hell. I still sort of missed the experience because it was always a blast.
Yeah. Okay. So that was like a 3-season tent that I was like, let's take up side of a mountain, and the wind is going so like it snapped the cover or the like whatever that's called. I don't remember. But then there's like mesh, screen over it, and it's like snowing and windy, and the wind every time there's like gusts, it just comes and it flattens right down on top of me, hitting me in the face. I'm just like, I woke up Jimmy at like 4 o'clock. I'm like, we gotta go.
I remember.
I've been up for hours.
And Jimmy had a pretty decent tent though, didn't
he? Yeah, he was buried. He was buried in blankets.
Yeah. And see, I lived in Arizona, so we would go up north where it was we get snow and stuff, but it wasn't like that. We didn't really we didn't get that kind of snow. It wasn't near, but we'd go all year round. And in the summertime, we didn't even take tents most of the time. We just took our sleeping bags, because again, it's Arizona. You're not really worried about rain a lot. Or we just go walk out in the desert and go camping. That was always
that's one of my favorite things to do. I will sleep in like a I won't just sleep on the ground. Well, I do sleep on the ground, but I'll sleep in a tent with a mesh, just because there are lots of flies and mosquitoes up in the mountains, so that's kind of annoying. Sure. But it's so great to just be able to look up and see the stars, and there's no light pollution from the city.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's always, I like to kayak too. I used to kayak, and I live right on Lake Ontario, and you can paddle out into the lake far enough where you can't see land at all, and you're out there, and it's the same type of feeling when you're out in the woods and you see all the stars and stuff. It's the same thing. There's something about it that's really enlightening. I don't know how to describe it. It's just something people should experience.
At least exactly.
Once in life. It's
I'm really big into. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
But I'm really into whitewater rafting as well.
Gotcha.
Getting back into it the last couple of years. I did it all the time as like a teenager, and just started again a couple of years ago, and it's super fun.
And you're in a great area for it. I mean, you guys, I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, but it's on my bucket list. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country. It's just amazing there. I just absolutely love it there. Oh, look, there's a dinosaur on my head. I got all these new toys going on. So, yeah. Last trip I converted Jimmy. He slept in his truck and said it was amazing, Corey said. And I know I'm not supposed to be looking at the chat. Sorry. I keep looking over there. All right. So hobbies and stuff. The YouTube thing. So what really made you get into the whole, you said you quit your job and decided to make YouTube full time, which you're doing great. I mean, I don't know, 50 some thousand subscribers. That's a great size channel. What made you jump into that? What made you really go all in?
So it was actually Corey, way back, even before like Corey was, I think Corey was like around 2,000 subscribers or something like that. And he has a website that I don't know that a lot of people know about, but it's called Washington Fish Box. And it's just for fish keepers that are in Washington. And we used to hang out on that forum. There's like a live chat thing that you can go to. And I was just uploading like I would get fish and I would just upload it for myself. So I could go back in 6 months and see how much they've grown. So just casually uploading, not even trying to like start a channel or anything. And then he started his channel. He got up to like 5,000 subscribers and we were talking about it. And I was like, wow, that seems pretty fun. Maybe I'll give it a try. And he was like, the best advice I can give you is to treat it like a 2-year internship. He's like, upload consistently for 2 years, everything you make, put it back into the channel. And that's what I did. And I just, my channel exploded that first 2 years. So it was really because of Corey, but we would have like, and we still do, just not as much, but we like, we'll just have YouTube nerd nights where all we talk about is YouTube and like strategizing and videos.
Yeah.
Like that first 2 or 3 years, we were like, it'd be like 2 a.m. We're like, wait, what worked here? What thumbnail worked there? And it was kind of crazy.
I'm sort of in the same boat with some of the people, Stephen P. and different people in the chat. But I just don't get into that, looking at the analytics and all that kind of stuff. My channel's slowly growing, and I was just talking about it today, the thumbnails and stuff. I mean, I'll never be like what you guys are at. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. The other laptop just rebooted. It's just not all that interesting to me. I like where I'm at. I've got probably the most supportive, loyal people that watch me and support me. I just, it's just amazing how much, for the size of my channel, the type of support I get, it is just, it's amazing. I will have to talk about it, but I attacked thumbnails brutally today because I was saying everybody's making the same thumbnails. Everybody says make a catchy thumbnail, and everybody's making the same thumbnails. They're all the same. It's something like, and then there's some wacky text by it and holding the thing, and it's how can there be? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll get too far into that.
I hate those too. Don't get me wrong. I hate them too, and I've done them. You got to pay your dues every once in a while. You got to do one if you want to grow. But
I'm a lazy guy. I'm very lazy. I'm incredibly lazy at this point in my life. I'm retired. I'm allowed to be lazy,
Mhm.
and I'm going to do things my way. And you guys do your thing. That's how I feel.
And that's how I've kind of been like the last year, or probably even longer than a year.
Because you got
I
there.
really
You
like
did those things.
I was like, I went really hardcore. Like I didn't miss a live stream for like 5 years. I didn't miss a video for like 5 years. And then when I missed a video, I was just like, it was like a sigh of relief. It's just like, man, that it feels good.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe I've put in enough time that I don't need to go super hardcore anymore. Because at one point I was doing 3 videos and 3 live streams a week, and it was too much.
I do a lot of live streams, but that's different because I really enjoy it. I love doing it.
It's definitely the best part for me.
It is. And somebody, Chris, Multi-Tank Addiction, when I was on with him, he said that I was more of a live streamer than a YouTuber. And I think that's correct. I think that's the YouTube or the live streaming part of it is where I live. The videos I put out, a video maybe once a month, just if I've got an update or just to show things in the tanks and stuff, because people are always asking. But that's it. One a month, maybe that's about it. But I do 6 live streams a week. I mean, it's crazy how many. And I know Corey says that that's the worst way to do it. I get it. But I'm happy. And that's all that matters. I'm happy with the path that I've chosen.
Well, yeah, I mean, live streaming is if you truly want to grow your channel, like if that's your main goal, then yeah, live streaming is the worst. But I don't think that's your main goal.
It is not.
And I'll definitely agree. Like, I think every channel has like that really core group of people that really support you, and that's really what keeps me going.
Yeah.
It's just that sure, there's 50-some thousand subscribers. I appreciate them all, but there's like a small, maybe like a group of like 100 people that are there every single time. It still blows my mind that people are coming to every single live stream every single week, or if I do like an impromptu one, they're all there. It's still crazy to me, but that's honestly what keeps me going.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I agree with that. It's amazing, and I'll never understand why people do it, but oh well, it is what it is. Anyway,
then there's me who does that to other people, like, oh, this person's live, I gotta watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I try to watch everything I can. I mean, I do watch you quite often on Monday nights. There's just so many. I'm subscribed to so many, and I try. And especially now, we have there's a lot of people that live stream, but luckily we have fishfam.link that Liquid Zoo Matt put together that has all kinds of. It's got a calendar, so you know who's coming up, where each person is scheduled. They schedule their own times. It's got a bunch of news. It's a great tool to use. It makes it way easier. You could just go look and see in case you missed it or you didn't get the notification or whatever. You can sort of plan your day.
That website's pretty well done. It's kind of crazy.
It's he did a great job with it, and he deserves some kudos for it. And at the same time, I have to say thank you again to Matt. Was one of the driving forces. They just last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it's been now, they bought me a brand new laptop. They gave me a brand new camera. They gave me a new router. I mean, they sent me all this stuff just because it's just amazing. So anyways, I'm sorry. I keep getting on to me. This is about Bob. Sorry. Okay. So we talked about hobbies. You didn't touch on video games at all. You're not really a gamer.
I am. It's just like 20 years ago, I was super hardcore gamer. Now I'm like, I'll only play if someone else is playing. Like it's boring to play by myself.
Oh, gotcha.
And plus I'm just like super busy right now, so I don't really have a lot of time.
Okay. I'm just the opposite. I don't ever play multiplayer games anymore. I'm playing Lego Star Wars, the new one, the Skywalker saga, totally single player. And I put like 35 hours into it. I was sick in bed for a week and that's all I did.
Yeah. Cause I used to have a gaming channel.
I didn't know that.
There was like maybe like 500 subscribers.
That's what the outdoor one came from. Okay. I remember you talking about that. I just
changed the name and everything. And people were like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, hey, it beats starting from zero. So
yeah. But you deleted all the videos, right? So you had to start over with watch time and stuff. I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah. So I made them all private. and then it took away the watch time. But all the ones that had like good views, I kept unlisted, hoping that it wouldn't. But it took all the watch time away on
Gotcha.
those two.
Well, that's. I mean, you live and learn. That's a good piece of information for anybody who's thinking about doing a second channel, or has that second channel and has to know how to do it. Go pick Bob's brain. He's willing. He likes to read emails. He told me that right before the stream.
It's what I do all day, every day. Read emails.
How are you on time? We're about halfway through. Are you good with time tonight? Do you have something? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know how long this would go, so I mean, I got to eat dinner at some point, but I'm not hungry at all. So
okay. Well, we schedule for an hour, but sometimes it just flows. I think Corey, we went like 2.5 hours. You know, it just sometimes it just really goes, and it's time flies by so quick. Let's see. So we talked about what you did for a living and how you switched over.
Oh, I guess another new hobby would be plants.
Oh yeah, I did notice you've been doing that quite a bit lately. So what do you have up there? What are the different types?
I couldn't tell you. Like, this is a zebra plant.
Here,
this is
I'm
like some
solo.
This is like some Synagonium something or other. This is some type of philodendron. The only one I know for sure is this one because it's my favorite, and it's a Monstera Peru.
Nice.
I got a little cactus back there, but my fish room is just like covered in plants.
I'm with you, and I absolutely love it. Before I got into computers when we lived in Arizona, plants were my hobby. I had tons and tons of indoor and outdoor plants. I loved it, and I've just in the last year really got back into it. I got a couple of these Norfolk Island pines. There's actually right out of frame over here. There's a 6-foot tall one. Oh, here.
Wow. Oh, nice.
I mean, there's a Monstera here. Pothos is hanging out of every single fish tank. I've got that's a lemon tree. There's another pothos here. There's a spider plant up here. I mean, they're just everywhere. Yeah, I absolutely love them, and it's a great hobby to get into, and it goes hand in hand with the fish tanks, right? It really does, especially hanging pothos out of your tanks and stuff. It really does help.
So I was into reptiles a lot before I was into aquariums and stuff. So I was always buying plants and putting them in my terrariums, but I never really got into for house plants. They were always like functional.
Yeah.
And now it's like everything: terrariums, aquariums, plants.
How'd that happen? What got you into the house plants? It's something just one day you saw one and.
So I've always wanted to have like this tropical room. Like, it's always been in my mind. Like, every time I go to the zoo, you go to the tropical, there's birds, there's fish, there's reptiles. I'm like, man, I want to recreate this, but I never really knew how. And then, going over to Danny and her shed, she's got plants everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it just finally kind of rubbed off on me.
Yeah. That is an amazing shed too. I always enjoy watching when she comes up on your streams and stuff. You guys, you do really well together on the streams. It really flows. You can tell you guys are good friends, and
it's come a long ways from the first time we were on camera. That's for sure.
it's definitely, she looks very comfortable now, and it's good. I like when she's on there, and that is a great room too, and all the different plants and stuff she has. That's amazing. Okay, so we talked about the hobbies, we talked about the jobs. I think that was all of my questions that I had in mind. What's the deal with pie, dude?
So there's actually quite a few things that I've never had in my life. And on a live stream one time, I was like, I've never had pie, and people were like, no way. And I'm like, I will call my mom right now. I promise you, I've never had it.
Yeah.
So people just became, out of all the food that I said I've never had, like I've never had gummy bears, I've never had marshmallows, I've never had coffee. For some reason, it was pie that was the most, I guess, people cared about.
Well, because pie is amazing. It's it just proves that there is a God and He loves us.
See, I feel like that's pigs. Pigs proves to me, like, pigs can eat all kinds of trash and then you get bacon out of it. Like, that to me is proof that
that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll give you that. Yeah, that's good. I'm a big pie guy. I absolutely love pie. So, and I remember that stream when you were saying that, and I was like, what? I was like all upset.
And I'm not a big sweets person in general. Yeah. Like, I'll eat cake on my birthday just because my mom made it for me and I'll be polite.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'd rather have beef jerky than sweets.
Yeah, your idea of a dessert is another steak. You said, I
Yep.
remember you saying that once. Okay. Well, we're about halfway through, so now let's go ahead and open up to the chat. And again, thank you, everybody. I did see a bunch of new names. Again, if we didn't say hi to you or didn't, we weren't ignoring you. Well, it was on purpose, but that's just how it's designed. So now's your chance, though. If you've got any kind of questions for Bob, now's the time to ask him. We do want to keep it away from fish, make it a little bit more personal. But if you've got fishy questions too, that's okay. So Dr. Awesome would like to know, when did you meet Bob Lazar, or is it Lazar?
Bob Lazar. So I actually,
Lazar.
I wish I've met Bob Lazar, but I have not.
He's the I tried to point at it back here.
Yeah.
I'm a dumbass.
I bought this from him, and he autographed it for me, but I've never actually met him.
Gotcha.
He's like a bucket list person for me to meet, though. I find him very, very fascinating.
I don't know who he is. What's his thing?
He's the one that outed Area 51 back in like 78.
Oh,
he went on Nevada News Channel and was like, there's a secret bunker and they got aliens and UFOs. And so that's how Area 51 like got started.
Okay. He was the guy
into pop culture
that did all that. Okay. Here we go. Alex, what's up, Alex? He goes, let's get personal. Blood type.
I don't even know. Like, if I don't know how long ago I was at the clinic and they're like, "What's your blood type?" I had to text my mom. I was like, "I have no idea," and I still don't know.
I don't know either, but my wife does, so she would be the one I would contact. I have no idea. Buffalo Photo, how do I get out of this chicken shit outfit? I don't know what that. Larry, I don't know what that is. I don't know what is that? That's probably a quote from something, and I just don't know what it is. Let's see, where's the questions at? And if he would, please do the @Rico Stan, or Bob can see the chat too. So if you see something too, Bob, go ahead and jump in there. There's a good one. What's the story with Bob's new artwork, and does he believe in aliens? Well, you sort of already.
The only new artwork I have, I don't know if you're talking about this, because this is new. I just got this week. This came from a subscriber of mine called Barbara, and it's just completely random. There was one time on a live stream where I was saying like Ant-Man is the dumbest like concept for a superhero ever, and so I think that's where this is from.
Oh. I like Ant-Man.
To be fair, I've never seen it, but it just seems kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big superhero movie guy in the first place. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Actually, I definitely am. Scotty, the fish freak. Scotty, is that you, Scotty, from Keystone Clash? Did you change your name? I don't recognize the name, so I'm assuming it's somebody who changed it. Will Bob be in Morgantown, Pennsylvania in September? That's the Keystone Clash, and that's why I think that's Scott. He's actually the president of the board for the Keystone Clash. Something I always forget what his title is.
I would love to go to PA one of these days. I don't have any plans on it now because I'm very much invested in building my house right now. So money is very tight.
Gotcha.
And I think the only thing I'm going to go to this year is Fishtoberfest, which is Danikin and the Portland show, just because I can drive there.
Oh, I'm jealous. I really want to go to that. And my friend Skipper, Skipper, you've been on his. He actually won the tickets, so he gets to go. That was great of Kenny to do too. That's one there's also one Aquatic Con, James Fishing Fever. That's coming up into this month.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to that one too, but the price of lumber has just been absurd. So I just
gotcha. So you're building a new house from scratch. You have contractors doing it. You're doing what's going on?
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Really? So you didn't talk about doing construction work. You have a knack for it, or
no? It just doesn't seem to be that hard, and I'm not trying to like diss any contractors or anything. I'm sure I'm going to get in there, but I'm building like a square box, so it's like it can't be that hard. Okay. Like it's going to be like an open floor plan, so my dogs can run around like crazy. I mean, I'm the only one that's going to be living there, so I'm not even probably putting a room in there. It's literally going to be a square box. I have the power people coming out to see what it's going to take to get power there. Then I'll worry about water. But yeah, it's basically going to be like semi off grid, self-sustaining,
nice,
type of deal out in my own little wooded area.
That's awesome. That's been one of our dreams, is to be off grid too. And I want to get to Papa Shrimp's question there real quick, but the thing that you do for the shelter, you want to talk about that just real quick? What is that exactly? When do you do that? Is it Christmas time? I can't remember.
The fundraiser. So I did a fundraiser, I think 4 years ago, and then I skipped a year and then did it again. And then I skipped last year, and then I might do it again this year.
Okay.
But it's not like, it's just something I do because I like to do it.
So it's one of your local shelters that you really like.
Yeah, it's the one I volunteer at.
Okay. And
it really depends. So like last year I didn't do it because Petco donated like 30 grand. And I couldn't find a different shelter. Like there's a lot of them. But it's hard to know, like, sure, they're 501(c)s, but are they really shelters or are they just animal hoarders, right?
Yeah.
It's there's quite a few of the animal hoarding situation going on in the Pacific Northwest. So,
oh, gotcha.
And plus with moving and everything going on, I just didn't do it. So, I don't know if I'll have time to do it this year, but it is something that I really do enjoy doing.
And you get a massive turnout. Didn't you take like a couple of bed truckloads over there? I mean, it was a huge amount of stuff. I saw the packages come in outside the door.
Yeah, so I was able to get it all in my truck, but I have an F-150 extended cab. The cab was completely packed, the bed was completely packed, and yeah, I was so grateful, and it really just blew my mind.
That is awesome. I love that. I always love to see that. So kudos. And what you have 3 dogs right now, right?
Yep, and they're all from that same shelter.
Gotcha. And you're a big dog guy. Remember that because we have pugs and a little Chihuahua Papillon mix. Mm-hmm. And I remember saying that there's no bad dogs, just bad people.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. I mean, you could tell the difference. Like at our shelter, the Chihuahuas by far are the breed that bites the most. But you can tell when they're coming from someone who actually put time in training them versus people that are just like, here's your food and water, Yeah.
It's just like any breed can be super bad, but the littler dogs normally are a little more aggressive. They think they have something to prove. Okay, so Papa Shrimp said, I see, and hey, Jerry, I see guitars on the wall. Bob's right. Does he still play? Yes, we actually talked about that earlier, Papa Shrimp. And what kind of music? Does he need a drummer for a Fish Fam band? There you go, collaboration. Jerry's been a drummer for a very long time.
Well, he's probably way better than I am.
Hey, everybody's got to start somewhere. So yeah, Bob was classically trained on the piano, but plays guitar as well. Now, what kind of music do you play on the guitar? Again, just anything? I'm thinking of Yngwie Malmsteen. He was heavy metal, but he was classically trained guitarist. And
so for the guitar, like I'm really into Gordon Lightfoot right now.
Oh, nice.
So I'm learning a couple of his songs, and it really depends on like whatever song I'm nerding out at that particular time. Whatever song is stuck in my head, that's the one I have to play. And I don't know. That's just how it works.
Which one of the Gordon songs? What's one of them?
Sundown,
Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
The Edmund Fitzgerald, yes, definitely. And then the other one is Sundown. Yeah, I got them both here on my phone.
Yeah, that was a good guess. Then I got them both.
Probably the most popular ones.
Probably. I do.
I just love the storytelling of Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, I'm with you. He was that definitely was a strong point. He definitely had that folk influence to him that a lot of the music today. I'm not one of those people. I'm old, but I do like a lot of music today. But I just think that a lot of it, especially the more pop stuff, the story isn't there. It's missing. It's just.
And it's the same 3-4 chords over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah. There's some good stuff made today, though. Okay. Whips World, what's up, dude? Coolest reptile you kept, and is there something on your bucket list for reptiles?
Coolest would probably be my leaf-tailed geckos. I just think they're super fascinating. Their camouflage is amazing. And a bucket list reptile would be like a larger monitor lizard, like a black throat monitor.
And do you have any reptiles at all right now?
I currently have a bunch of chameleons. I have a pair of Europlatycicherae, which is a leaf-tailed gecko. I'm hoping to breed those. I'm actually certified in herpetology, which is study of reptiles, master certified. So I do have somewhat of a background in reptiles.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so I have a couple kicking around in the fish room.
Favorite sandwich and favorite pie. Well, we don't like any pie. Well, you haven't tried a lot of pies. Like you said, you're not a sugar guy.
I've tried one pie. That was the deal about hitting 50,000 subscribers. I would try a pie, and I just went to the grocery store and bought a pie. So it wasn't very good. I'm still willing to try, like, because people are like, oh, you have to have homemade or something like that. So I'm still willing to try.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Now that I've actually had pie, I don't have to be so staunch. Like, I'm never having pie. Like, I'm never going to have coffee. I'm never going to have marshmallows. I'm not doing it.
Last year at the Keystone Clash, our friend Alishon brought me a pie that was locally made because I've talked about pie enough. Regina, hi there. How long have you volunteered at the animal shelter? And yes, you did already answer that. Did you get all your dogs to them? So how long have you volunteered there?
I think maybe 3, maybe going on 4 years now. I don't remember what year I started, but it's been a while.
Excuse me. Gotcha. And what kind of stuff do you do there? Just whatever they need.
So I started as a dog walker, which, I mean, is perfect. You just got to take dogs out and play with them. And then I wanted to get a little more knowledge. So I was a veterinary assistant for a while, actually up until a couple months ago. And then I tore my rotator cuff, so I had to miss some time there, and they replaced me while I was gone, which is fine. So now I'm back to being a dog walker, and it's way less stressful than watching male dogs get their balls cut off. That's no matter how many times I see it. Speaking of dogs,
they heard you.
I see. They're angry. They're angry.
What timing? That was amazing timing. Oh, and I just real quick, not to get off here, but people, my daughter just told me tonight that she's going for a medical examiner assistant job on Thursday. So keep her in your thoughts and send her some positive thoughts. She's going to get out of the medical profession and be a medical examiner is the ultimate goal. So actually, coroner is what she wants to be, but that's where she's at. Alex wants to know if we're going to be at Fishtoberfest. I'm not going to be there. I just don't travel well. But you said you're probably going to go to that one.
Yep, I'll be there.
Gotcha. And that's going to be great. Just all the speakers, Dr. Awesome, Alex. I can't remember if Dan's Fish is going to be there again, but Bentley and Stephen P is going to be there. I really, really want to go to that.
Alex actually gave a really good talk last year. I was honestly, I don't mean to sound weird or anything, but I was like, I did not expect that from Alex. Like I know he knows his stuff, but just the whole presentation, like I was not prepared for it to be that good. And I was like, wow, that was actually really, really good. Especially because the day before I saw him out in the lobby at like 3:30 in the morning, like writing his presents, like still working on his presentation.
Oh, gotcha.
So
last minute, like, but he still nailed it. You were thinking it's just going to be all cobbled together.
I'm like, this is going to be like all ad-libbed and rushed together.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's how Alex, I believe that's how he lives. That's where he really hits his stride when he's under pressure like that. I just feel that. Just from the little bit I know of him, I just feel like that's the kind of person he is. He needs to be under pressure to really put out the really good stuff, I think. Alice wants to know if you weren't doing fish, what would you be doing?
I would be more into reptiles. I would probably have a reptile YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
I don't think I could ever get away from YouTube at this point. It just offers so much freedom. And I very much value that freedom more than almost any kind of dollar you could put on it. Like, come work to me for 100,000. I'd be like, I don't know, probably not.
Yeah, because you can do whatever you want when you want, to an extent. to an extent. Myrtle, who is a great composer, by the way, said, would you be interested, and hi, Big M, would you be interested in playing something on piano if I sent you a score?
So I could try. So I basically do everything by ear. Like I've gone away from sheet music quite a few years ago. So I would be pretty rusty, but I can certainly try.
So Myrtle could even send it to you because he does do, he creates it as well. He doesn't just write it. So I would like to, that would be very cool, Myrtle. I'd like to see that. That would be awesome to see that kind of collaboration. Myrtle has done a lot of songs for a lot of us. And last week he sent me a 2-disc set of a lot of his work that he had created. And it's a lot of just amazing. He made me, it's called the Suave Boogie. No, the Boogie Suave. It's a boogie, you know, like a ragtime type, you know, just a lot of amazing stuff, though. A lot of amazing work there. Oh,
yeah. So I'm always like when I'm listening to music, I'm always like the piano always sticks out to me. Like I was listening to the radio the other day and an Avril Lavigne song came on and I'm like, wow, that piano like sounds really good. So I immediately came home and I started playing just the piano part. And I'm like, just the piano part is way better than the song.
Yeah. What about Tom Waits? You ever listen to any of his music? His early stuff. His later stuff was very experimental and musical and stuff. And
I'm sure I have, but it doesn't ring a bell.
Like Closing Time from 1972, I think. His very first album. You should give it a try because it is all piano music. It's that's entirely what it is. It's really good, heartfelt storytelling music. It's great stuff.
I'm really into like I don't know if anyone knows. Oh my gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. Philip Glass, I think, something Glass. He's a minimalist. I'm really into that right now. I think it's Philip Glass. I could be wrong.
Is it Philip Glass? Isn't he something to do with musicals? Like he does scores for stuff?
Yeah.
That's the guy. I haven't listened to much. I think I know who he is, but I don't think that I could ever point out a song by him or whatever you call it, whatever his things are. I don't know if song is the right word for what he makes. Jenna would like to know if you will sing with Steven at Fishtoberfest.
If I will sing, I'm definitely not a singer. One of the main reasons, actually, I was like, I have to learn because I love music. I can't sing, so I got to learn instruments since I can't sing. If I could sing, I probably never would have got into instruments.
Yeah, I absolutely love music too. We've always had music playing in the house all the time, but I don't have any musical skill whatsoever, so it's difficult. I still sing my heart out. I still sing loud, but nobody's around to hear it, so it's okay.
Exactly.
Let's see. Hi, CJ. Let's see. Chattanooga Ed said he found it was cheaper to hire professional drywallers than to do it yourself. I could see just not dealing with the taping and mudding though, because that's
I absolutely hate drywall for sure. Like that is, somebody offered me to come drywall their shed, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
They're like, but what if they what if they pay you really? Nope.
Nope. No way to do it. Yeah. We have so we gutted this house when we bought it, and the whole front of it, not the back area here, but the whole front of it, we gutted it. Ripped down walls, and we still have one wall that has not been taped and mudded. And the drywall has like a brownish patina to it. And my buddy who did a lot of the work on it, he goes, hey, you finally painted, because he thought we had painted it because it looks really nice now, the drywall. If you let it go like 8 years, it starts to look nice just left alone. So just saying.
So I'm renting a garage, and there's my studio is one room, the fish room is the other room. I did the fish room first, drywalled it, taped it, mudded, did all that stuff. And you can see on here, I just bought panels. I was like, I'm not doing that again. These are just $20 Home Depot panels, stapled into the wall.
Okay. And Myrtle, thank you for dropping that link for the stuff that you do there. Lady Rorschach, as a fan of pie, what is your favorite flavor? Oh, it's so hard. Strawberry, blueberry, apple, and sour cream raisin are some of mine. The raisin, no, I absolutely hate raisins. It's one of the few foods that I don't like. I hate raisins. Um,
I'm right there with
and
you.
I'm very partial to blueberry pie because my grandma, uh, even into her 90s, used to drive from Chicago up here to upstate New York, and she would bring me a frozen blueberry pie that we would bake here every single year, and they were delicious. It was all she did everything. It was nothing out of a can or anything like that. So, okay. And Alex said you could be the backup for Steven at Fishtoberfest. Make sure we need to make sure. Oh, my signal just dropped. That's weird. I just got a brand new router. Hopefully this isn't too bad. Am I frozen?
No, you're still here.
Looks okay. You can hear me okay
You're like
and
in
everything?
240p, but you're still here.
Okay. That's weird. Okay. Scrolling down, looking for more. Tom Waits sounds like the Cookie Monster. No, the Cookie Monster sounds like Tom Waits, Sean. And hi, good to see you, Sean. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't drop out. I don't know why it's so bad. I don't know what's going on. No bad weather, nothing. And it's been great. Okay, Amanda Baker, do you sing the guitar solos too? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I do. Sometimes do the yeah, sometimes. Yep. Kyle says we can do a duet of Living on the Prayer at the Clash. Let's see.
Now I have done karaoke. But that was back in my drinking days. I won't be doing that anytime soon.
I never have. I don't know if there's anything that I don't know why I didn't, but I just never had. Is Bob into binaural beats still by chance?
What's that?
Alex wants to know if you're into. Am I pronouncing it right? Binaural
beats.
Binaural. It sounds too close to venereal beats.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's how I say it. Yes, I find it very fascinating, and I still go down that road every once in a while.
I can't believe my signals dropped down like this. So embarrassing.
Well, the audio's still good at least, so
that's all that really matters. I mean, you don't need to see me anyways. It's actually a plus when you don't see me. So Dr. Awesome says he bakes a killer cheesecake. And Lady Rorschach, thank you. Let's see. There we go. Where are the pups? We need to see the dogs. Sorry if I'm late already. Hi, Joe Stan. Can you get one of the dogs to come up? I know sometimes they do.
I got to take down. I put a dog gate up when I live stream. Otherwise, they would never leave it alone.
I have one who's just about to scratch at the door right now.
And of course, I've got shoes in the way. Come here. Come here. It's all right. Come here. They're trained not to jump up on me, so it's hard to.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh, of course, that guy's in the way. There you go.
Oh.
Hi. Hi. Look. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I love dogs. I'm definitely a dog person. We've got 3 of them. Oh, I already told you that. So if you had to pick a favorite sweet food, what would it be? If there was one sweet thing that you like.
If I was forced to eat sweet food, it would just be chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. It's very boring. See, all he wants to do is hug me. Now he won't leave. I love you too, buddy. You gotta go down. There you go. Thank you.
Richard would like to know if you know where to get lapis luster sand. He can't find it anywhere.
So the only advice I can give is look for sand. Look for sandblasting companies because that's what it's used for, is sandblasting. And you might be able to get them from them. But I mean, I know of one place in Seattle that sells it. I don't know if you're in Florida or in France. I have no idea where you are. So
Montana, is that right, Richard? Montana, Wyoming. I always forget, and I'm sorry.
I
try to remember what people are.
Some Home Depot sell 50-pound bags, but that's pretty rare. But you can look on the Home Depot website and see if it's in your area.
Now, does the lapis luster have a certain look to it or certain something to it that's what you need, Richard? What's do you know? I mean, do you use it often or?
I try to use it as much as I can. So you can get 100-pound bag for like $20 some. It's probably more now because of COVID. And it's made in a kiln, so it's super clean. You don't have to rinse it. There's no dust. It's amazing as far as cleanliness. It's crazy.
Gotcha.
And it's so if I get grain size number 2. And it grows plants really well. I mean, it's inert, so depending on what plants you want to do, I should say, but it's just super cheap. It looks awesome, and it's really clean.
Do you you use sand in all your tanks then, or do you use layers, or what's your?
These days I use whatever I have.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But like if I do like African cichlids or anything that's or earth eaters, then I like to use the lapis lazuli sand because it's they're not gonna hurt themselves on like sharp corners or anything. So that's when I'll use sand. If I can afford Eco Complete for the whole tank, then I'll do that. That's my favorite planted tank substrate.
Yeah, that's what I use in almost all of mine. Almost all of them have it. And people get mad at me because I sometimes call it Eco Complete and sometimes Eco Complete, and it's a point of contention with a lot of people for some reason. They get very angry with me for saying it. So sometimes I say it on purpose because let's see.
It's like the beta.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about. So
that's all that matters.
Myrtle asked this question every time. We've done 60. I think you're 62 of the interview streams. And I think Myrtle has asked it in every single one. No, there's a couple he didn't. He forgot about it. But so if you had one thing you could change about me, what would it be? And then he wants to know what I would change about you. So,
well, knowing what I know now, I would change that you can travel, since you said you don't travel well.
Yeah, I have
I would change you so that you could travel well. Whatever has to happen, whatever change needs to happen, that's what I would want changed.
Well, thank you. That's a good one. And mine's not near as altruistic as yours because I just want you to like pie. I want you to be a fellow pie lover. That's all.
So a lot of stuff I don't try just because I know like I have a very addictive tendency.
Oh, gotcha.
So like if I try coffee and I end up loving it, then I'll just drink coffee all day long.
Yeah. Oh, what about cheese? Are you a fan of cheese?
I am a fan of some types of cheese. And what I mean by like, I don't like lots of melted. So if you ordered a pizza with extra cheese, I would not eat it. But if you order a pizza with just the regular amount of cheese, then yeah. But if it's like a lot of melted cheese, there's just something about that texture that I don't know.
What about like cheese and crackers and
I love cheese and crackers. So I'll cut up cheese cubes and take them when I go hiking as a snack.
Gotcha.
As long as it's cold though, it's got to be cold. Like not room temperature, not warm. It's got to be cold.
You've redeemed yourself. Although I do eat warm cheeses because some are meant to be eaten that way.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, we're getting towards the bottom, and we are an hour in. And I apologize. Hopefully, everybody can still hear me just fine. I don't know why my signal just dropped like that. It's been so good for so long. What's the biggest fish Bob has kept?
Probably my Mabu puffer.
Nice. I do like puffers. I just have the little pea puffers, but I absolutely love puffers. And Jacob Hill wants to know if you like Eco Complete better than normal aqua soil.
Yes, I hate aqua soil. I hate whatever the fluval one is. I hate it. Although I do like the ADA aqua soil. I don't like that it's stupid expensive, but it does tend to hold up really well. I have tried some other brands that after like 3 months it's just mud, and I don't like that at all.
Steven says with your soft water, you could use tuna cannelids for substrate and still grow plants.
You might think that, but I would rather have hard water for my plants.
See, I have incredibly hard water, and there's a lot of plants I've tried and they just won't. All my tanks are planted, but
I think it's just situational or circumstantial, right? Like we have soft water, so naturally I wish I had hard water. Where people have hard water, they would say, "Oh, I wish I had soft water."
Gotcha. Well, you're a rainbow fan too, right? So that does help. They like a little bit more hard water, right? Don't rainbows normally like a little bit harder water?
I think it's better for them, but honestly, I think rainbows can adapt to just about anything
Gotcha.
you can throw at them.
All I have is Boesmanis. They're in here, and actually got them to. I didn't get them. They colony bred. So that's a colony tank. I have a bunch of different stuff in there: Harlequin rasboras, CPDs, Boesmanis, Bristlenose plecos. And the one day I was looking, I was like, man, look at that! It looked almost like a guppy fry, and I was like, how did he get in there? But there is a guppy tank above. I thought maybe. Turns out it was one of the Boesmani rainbows. I didn't do anything for it. It just happened to make it through and survived. So.
Yep, and they'll do that too. I mean, just like tetras and rasboras, if you got enough plants in there, some of them will survive.
There's definitely a lot. Yeah. Corey wants me to ask you about pretzel dogs.
So Nathan's pretzel dogs. I've never knew these existed. The very first time we went camping, like all three of us, he brought some. And I was like, I'll try one. I'll try one. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. And I was just like, how many more of these do you got? And I swear, like, for the next 6 months, all I ate was pretzel dogs. It was ridiculous. And that's what I'm saying. When I try something new and I like it, it usually doesn't turn out well for me because that's never happened with vegetables or fruit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, stay away from the pie for sure. But so what is it just a hot dog with a pretzel, like a corn dog type thing?
Yep.
Oh, gotcha. I don't think I've ever had them either. I like big fluffy pretzels, those are what I consider pretzels, not the little crackers that are just twisted.
No, I can't stand those at all.
But nice big fluffy bready pretzel with mustard and salt. Okay. Ginger Grumble's taken off. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I think Ginger's one of your mods, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm not seeing any. Again, did you see anything there too?
I mean, I just kind of. There's been a lot of questions. I've just kind of been letting you handle it.
Well, if you see something, go right ahead. If there's anything that you want to answer, or, but I don't see any more questions. Happened to me with chicken salad. Sean said. I do like
saw one about rainbow fish somewhere. Fish Dream says, are rainbow fish prone to disease? I would say not prone, but they're not a fish that you want to skip a lot of water changes or let the water get bad. They're not like white cloud minnows that, you just put them in a jar for a year and they're fine. So I would say they are a little bit more sensitive to water parameters, as far as poor water parameters, not as far as like low pH, high pH, but
I just lost my first one. I've had him for a couple years, and he got some kind of fungus on his eye, and then it spread into his gill too. And I put him in the quarantine, but he didn't make it. The first one I've lost, but I haven't had any issues with them in 2 years. And I don't consider myself, again, I've only been keeping fish for 2 years, and I'm definitely not. 99% of the people in the chat are more experienced and have more knowledge about keeping fish than I do. So, and I don't have really any problems with those rainbows, with the Boesmanis. That's the only ones I've had. Well, I do have pseudomcgills too. I have 3 different kinds of pseudomcgills, and it's 29. No problems with those.
One of the reasons being is with rainbows is that they're kind of skittish. They also swim really fast. They don't pay attention where they go. So if your water's not that great, and they'll just fly right into like a into your wood or hardscape. And then they'll get you'll see it on a lot of rainbows, like their mouths are beat up, and it could get infected, and that's usually what the problem comes with if you don't have like really clean water.
And maybe that's what happened. I mean, I do water changes on there, but maybe that is what happened with mine. The one that I did lose, he could have. Let's see. Alice B wants to know if you've got a dream tank.
A dream tank would be as large as I could possibly fit wherever I'm at. But like my dream fish would be the Benthachromis tricotti, which is a Lake Tanganyika fish. And I think I have one right here.
Excuse me.
It's a drawing from Sam Scales, but that's what it looks like.
Wow. Yeah, that is cool.
And they're like a bright blue, yellow neon with a long lyre tail. and they get about 10 inches. So yeah, a giant school of those in a giant tank is like my dream.
Yeah, you definitely need a big tank. So are they rare at all? Are they hard to find, or is it just because you need such a big
They're
tank?
hard to find, and they're usually about $200 each
Gotcha.
when you do see them.
That's difficult for me. I think the most expensive thing I bought for my fish tank was a blue lobster crayfish that was $40. That he passed away too not that long ago. I had him for a couple of years, and he didn't make it. He was my favorite guy. Zoidberg, his name was. He was just so personable. He always wanted to interact with me all the time. Misfit, Brendan, what's going on? He wants to know what your current goals for your hobby.
For the fish hobby
goals right now.
Yeah. So actually, I'm redoing the fish room again, and I'm probably going to be getting rid of most everything I have in there as far as fish. There's a couple of species of rainbows I'll keep because they're super rare. But I want to gut it and I'm gutting it and starting all over. And Corey's going to come up and help with that, so that's going to be really cool.
Nice.
And I'm going to go with even less tanks. So what happened is, where I used to live and why I moved is I was renting from my best friend who passed away.
Yeah.
And then his family let me just stay there as long as I looked over the house. So there's no real rush. But then I was there for about 9 months, and they're like, "Hey, we sold the house. You got to be out by the end of the month." So I was building this fish room. Like I wanted to do it right. So I was taking my time, and then all of a sudden it was just all the fish had to go in there all at once. And so now it's kind of just haphazard, and I'm not thrilled about it, which is why I haven't filmed it. And it's just like I go in there and it's just a cluster. So that's why I'm just like, I was talking to Corey, just going to get rid of all the fish. I mean, because they're all pretty common at this point, and I can just get them, again if I need to. But and then we're gonna do it right, and then I'm gonna help him with his fish room as well. So just a couple fish nerds hanging out doing fish stuff.
And I'm jealous. I'd love to be in that room. Alex is taking off. His stream is coming up actually right about now. He's probably that was a few minutes ago. So yeah, Alex is doing one with psychedelic DMT studies and fish vision. The thumbnail for it was actually interesting.
That's perfect for him.
It is.
Alex cracks me up. I love that guy.
Jay Oliver says you're awesome and hope to meet you one day. He hopes to meet you one day. He should come to Aquashella Dallas with Corey in August.
Like I said, probably not going to happen this year. And I feel like I say that every year, but it's been the last couple of years have been like, normally my life is just pretty even Steven, but the last couple of years with my best friend dying and having to move, and it's been crazy. Yeah,
a lot of upheaval. That's not fun. It takes a toll. It really does.
Yeah, because I lived there for 20 years, so I had 20 years worth of stuff there, and it was just totally unexpected. The
whole thing was unexpected too, with your friend passing. And I remember, I watched the streams when you were going through all that. It was a tough time for sure, losing your friend and your home. What was the first rainbow fish that you kept?
Actually, it was the Bozeman rainbows. I found Dustin's fish tank. I was just watching YouTube, some video of I think it's like 220 gallon planted that had a bunch of Bosemanis in it. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get that fish. So he is the reason that I'm in rainbow fish. Is from watching Dustin's channel.
I don't know what made me get the Bosemanis, but I know I needed to have them. It could have been you. I honestly don't remember where it was. Somebody on YouTube. That's definite. That's where all my desires for fish pretty much came from. It might have been you with the Bosemanis, because they were on my short list very quickly. All right, we're going to end it here. I think we'll go right to 8:00. So just another 15 minutes, if you're good with that, Bob.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, and then people won't miss too much of that. Go ahead.
Jacob's asking if I'll have a big Tanganyika tank. I'm still undecided. So I have basically on like this wall over here. Both of these rooms are almost identical, so my fish room is laid out almost the same. On the end wall, I'm going to have a 300 gallon, and I still go back and forth between either a large Tanganyika tank or a large planted tank. I don't know.
See, that's one thing. I know that there are cichlids that you can do in planted tanks, but I just don't ever want to do a tank that doesn't have plants. It's just not for me. Planting the tank is a big part of the whole thing for me. So, I mean, I get why people like those fish. They are beautiful. I just can't do it. So I hope you go the route with the planted tank.
If I did go Tanganyikan, there would be lots of houseplants growing out of the top of it for sure.
Gotcha. At least there was something there. Yeah.
The largest African cichlid tank I've done is a 125, and it was fully planted with just jungle val. It was like just a whole big thing of jungle val, and it was really cool. So you can do plants with them.
Yep. I'm Paul. I don't know if Paul's in here. Paul Sotera. He's because I do say that often that it's just a little bit more difficult to do planted tanks with cichlids, and Paul always corrects me on that and says, no, I have a ton of cichlids in my heavily planted tanks, and he does. So I know you can. It's just easier.
Yeah, and a lot of like ambunas and things like that will pick at your plants all day long. But I found that if you put some vegetable in their diet, that really stop them from going after plants.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And Alex said, yeah, please ask Bob to do some kind of Tanganyikan tank.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to do something. And I am leaning towards making it Tanganyikan just because it'd be a lot easier to maintain than a large planted tank. But, you know, like the amount of lighting, it's not like your standard 300. It's only 7 feet wide, but it's super tall. So the amount of lighting and the amount of I just see my electricity bill just going.
Yeah, yeah, that is a different type.
So that's what's kind of pushing me to do a Tanganyikan. And then I think Tanganyikan, and I think like the price of fish are like $20 to $30 a fish, and even if I buy them at wholesale, that's still going to be a huge bill. So then I'm like, well, maybe I'll go back to plants. So I'm always going back and forth.
Oh, excuse me. Alice B would like to know if there's anything that you're afraid of getting addicted to, because she understands the addictive personality type.
Mm-hmm. It's really weird. Like, it's hard to explain what I get addicted to, but I'm definitely like, I feel like I am fat enough. So this is why I stay away from sweets. Because if I was addicted to sweets, I would be even fatter. That's like, I don't want to get any bigger than I already am. So I'm definitely afraid. This is why I don't want to get into sweets that much, because I know.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, we all have our things, and it's good to be aware of it. You know, more people need to be self-aware like that, realize where their problem areas lie.
Yeah, my problem area is definitely potatoes and bread. Like, I love it.
Not so much potatoes, but bread. I am definitely a big bread fan.
Mm-hmm.
2 questions in. Kevin would like to know your favorite aquarium plant.
Probably Anubias, and if I had to pick one, it'd be Anubias caufifolia. I love the wrinkled leaves. Yep.
And it is a bigger one, right?
Yep.
Isn't that one usually? I have one of those in the 75. And Snoochie Booch would like to know where in Seattle he can get the sand. He's going to drive over there after the fish.
You know, I only buy it like once every year or two, and every time I have to Google it. And it takes me forever to find it. If you search enough on Google in Seattle, you'll find it. But it is a sand blasting company, but I never remember what the name is. But I know it will come up in a Google search if you search long enough.
Sean's asking, is that a Bob Lazar sports model? I'm not sure.
No, it's the original.
So what's a sports model? What is that?
So he did 2 of these. The first one is this one, and I believe he did a sport model after, which was a different model of UFO.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand. I was like looking on I don't see any models.
Yeah, Corey knows. It's Manufactured Minerals in Tukwila, which is like a suburb of Seattle.
Thanks, Corey. I love that. And that happened today when I was streaming. There was just somebody had a question I had no idea about, but there were so many knowledgeable people in the chat that were able to help them. And I just absolutely love that sharing of information that the Fish Fam does. Okay, we got about 10 minutes left. Jacob Hill says, I don't know how Bob is addicted to Parkasoni rainbows.
Yeah, I had to time out in my channel, in my stream last night, because he was saying some not so nice things about Parkinsoni rainbows. So. The ongoing joke.
And Alec is pointing out the different plants you can do in a Tanganyikan.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's definitely. I mean, there's a strain of jungle val that, well, obviously it's not jungle val, but Vallisneria that grows in Lake Tanganyika, and it's actually, there's a lot of it in Seattle. It's always, anytime there's a club auction, there's always some Lake Tanganyikan val in the auction.
Does it look just like jungle val, or does it? I mean, just close.
The leaves, like they're not as like wide as like a jungle val. They're more thin, but yeah, pretty much the same thing, like just a tall grass plant.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Ginger says she can drive there. If it's in the industrial district. And I think Fish Stream says you shouldn't worry about getting too big because you're fine.
Well, my heart has to worry about it, unfortunately.
She said, I don't like guys that are skinny. No. Hey, KJE Aquatics. And real quick, KJE is very close to 1,000 subs. We talked about it today in the stream. And if you haven't hit up KJE, take a look. Go look at his stuff and see if you like him and give him a sub if you would. Great guy. He shot me a care package of, I don't know, a month or two ago. Gave me all kinds of stuff in it just because. No reason.
Nice. I've been trying to get care packages of beef jerky. So far, I haven't got anything in the mail.
Not a single one?
Not a single one.
Oh, you've got to rectify that.
But I mean, I think it was last Monday that I was like my first attempt at trying to get beef jerky. So we'll see.
You heard it, people. You heard it. You got to load up. You got to load up Bob with beef jerky. Does it have to be beef jerky?
No, just jerky in general.
Just jerky.
The only one I don't like is turkey. Like, it's very bland. I've never had good turkey jerky.
Really, I have. There was a teriyaki type that was really good. I do.
I do love bear jerky and elk jerky. So.
Never had either one of those. I would definitely try them though.
Yeah, it's really good.
Jenna P, yeah, maybe I'll send some Cajun beef jerky with Steven. I was just going to talk about that. They sent me some of it, and it was delicious. It was beef jerky. It was more little like cubes, and it was so tender. And it was a little bag that I downed quick. It was so quick.
Like I'll eat a 1 pound bag of jerky for dinner. Like It's not very uncommon that I'll have that for dinner a couple times a week.
Yeah, I do like it. So much salt, Kelly says. Hi, Kelly. What was that? There was some streams. And Matt said, who told you that earlier? Yep, that was Matt, KJE, who pointed that out to me. Although Keith did mention to me that he was getting close to that 1,000 too a while back. Let's see. I think we are. Yeah, but if you tried the olives, Matt, dried squid is the bomb. See, now I'm getting hungry. I didn't eat any dinner. My son made some kind of roast. I know there was a lot of onions, and I have a 20-year-old son who still lives at home, and he is a great cook, and he makes all kinds of stuff.
I try to be a great cook, but I never am.
He does a great job. I'm not sure what he made. It smelled delicious, but he cooks for us just about every night, and does an amazing job.
If it's on a fire, I can cook it. In a kitchen, I can't make anything.
Everybody wants beef jerky now too. Dr. Awesome said my daughter-in-law is from South Africa. They have biltong, which is marvelous jerky. I think I've heard of that. Maybe you told me about it. Salmon jerky. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, salmon jerky. Oh, yeah. I will say, Chattanooga Ed did send me jerky, but it was kind of a bribe. So I don't know if that's the same thing, but because he sent a care package to Corey, but he sent it to my address and then gave me beef jerky and was like, hey, can you get this to Corey?
Oh, I do remember that. Yep, I remember that. Yep. Well, I think that knowing all the people in the chat that I see and how giving this community is, I bet you're going to be seeing some beef jerky. How can they get it to you? Do you have like a PO box on your?
That's a good question. I don't have a mailing address right now.
Yeah.
You'd have to actually email me at my email and then I'd have to read it. Yeah, so you have to email me at steenfottaquatics@gmail.com, and then I can get you a mailing address.
Yeah, I think you guys should load them up with some. The Fish Fam is definitely very good at that kind of stuff. All right. Well, Bob, thanks for hanging out with us for all this time. Is there anything you got anything coming up? Anything you want to mention before we take off?
No, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. I don't need to promote anything.
Well, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find Bob. I'm sure everybody here knows who and where you're at. Thanks so much. Let's see. Next week, we have Mary Page Flynn for our guest. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. I can't believe that Mary hasn't been on yet. I thought I actually did interview her, but she's an amazing person. I'm really looking forward to that.
Big supporter of the family. Yeah.
She is. She's everywhere and probably the most I'm not going to try it. She's the most supportive person in the Fish Fam, no doubt.
And then I saw you're having Alexander Engelhardt on.
Yes, actually, he was supposed to be last Tuesday, but I was sick all week, and I had to postpone it. But yes, Alexander will be right after Mary Page. He got rescheduled to the end of the month, so that'll be an interesting one. Do you know Alexander?
No, I just know he's local to me. And I know we were both at Fishtoberfest last year, and I didn't know that he was there, so I'm sad I missed him. But yeah, I'm hoping he goes again this year, and then I'll be able to meet him.
He is a very supportive person as well. I don't know why he picked me to support, but he hits up Dan's Fish and myself and Alex a lot and does a lot of stuff for us. So I'm looking forward to learning why.
I think a lot of us are.
Yeah, I think so too. So, and hopefully, now I know Chattanooga Ed is in here. Hopefully, we are going to see Ed at least a little bit on Thursday. I don't know for sure. Maybe Ed can tell us before we leave. But hopefully, we're going to see Ed. And for those few who don't know, Ed actually had his chest cracked open. He had a heart valve replaced, and he's doing a lot better, but he's still down. So if you would like to send Chattanooga Ed a card or something, my email is at the top of the screen. Shoot me an email, let me know, and I will get you his address so you can send him a card or something, anything you like. We've been trying to really load him up and show him how much he means to us. So hopefully we'll get to see him Thursday. So I think that's it. Hey, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for what were they? Did I miss like super chats or?
I don't think you got any of the super chats.
Or members or something, because there was some pop-ups that happened and I don't remember what they were. Maybe they were membership.
Yeah, I saw a couple super chats roll through.
And I didn't say anything about them. That's horrible of me. I'm so sorry to the people that did that. That is just unforgivable. Thank you for whoever did the super chats. I'm sorry that I didn't address those at the time. Do appreciate the hell out of those. So sorry I didn't point them out, but thank you very much. All right. There we go.
Now everyone's going to do it.
Well, these are the membership ones, and I have the it's weird because OBS thinks that it's people joining memberships.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So we get that. Can you hear the little bling bling?
Uh-huh.
It sounds nice and clear.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty low, but yeah, I can definitely hear it. Like, okay. I don't think you'd want it louder.
No. I had huge for one of them, and today it was horrible. It was too much because it was going off all the time. I actually changed it. So anyways, everybody, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you Thursday.